Tonight, we will get into the crazy twists and turns of the Alec Murdaugh trial. I'll be back in 60 seconds and we'll get into it. See you guys then. Live on the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel. I want to welcome everybody in. It is February 20th, 2023, Monday night. Monday. Just another manic Monday. And we are back here. We're going to change up the format a little bit this evening. We're going to talk about Alec Murdaugh, the trial that is going on that has many twists and turns in it. And I'll tell you, I've casually watched some of it on YouTube, and I just got caught up to speed on this case. And I'll tell you, this case has more twists and turns than I think of the Idaho 4 case. It's pretty insane. So what I want to do this evening is bring up a brief timeline and just give some context to the backstory of what's actually going on in this trial. And then I have a couple of the body cam footage and some of the interrogations, at least the first couple of interrogations. And I'll tell you, this guy, if he was going for an Oscar, he definitely would not be winning, in my opinion. It's the amount of fake tears. It's crazy. And, it's something we can look into this evening and get into. Before I get into the content this evening, I want to welcome everybody over here on the channel that subscribed today. Dropped a new video and it's gone a little bit viral. So I brought in about over 100 new members to the channel. So thank you so much for joining. Please make sure to hit that bell notification when you subscribe to the channel. So every time that I go live or I drop a new video, you guys will know when that happens. Also, I just want to talk a little bit about this. I was looking at some of the comments. I had a faithful watcher. His screen name is BC. Called in last night, and we had a great 45-minute conversation about the Idaho 4 and the Brian Kohberger murder trial. And we were just kind of going through some scenarios and some of the details in those types of situations. We may get lost in translation as we're talking about it. I know some comments about not having snow on the ground that evening. Mistake on my part. Like I said, we're just kind of casually chatting, and sometimes those facts will get lost, and it happens. I'm not perfect, believe me. I'm far from perfect. I make mistakes, but I just wanted to do a disclaimer and kind of correct some of that information. It's no fault of BC. Look, I want everybody to call in. I want everybody to have conversations. So what we do here, we give opinions, we have conversations, we have fun, and we go through these cases and look at them, because I want to know what you guys have for your opinions out there, what your thoughts are, no matter if it's good or bad. We take all calls here. So anyway, first thing I want to do here. First, I want to welcome Kristen Brown as a new member. She is currently supporting the channel. I have a join button down there. If you'd like to support the channel, you can just go down and hit that join button. I have monthly memberships that start at $2, just $2 a month to help support this channel. I would appreciate it. So let's do this. I found a great article in People magazine that basically just go through all of the facts that we know so far in this case and kind of a timeline so we can get caught up. So I'm going to go through this timeline and then we'll play the first body cam footage as police get on scene. We'll play the body cam footage of when they first interview Alec after they arrive. And then if we have time, if it forbids time this evening, what we'll do is we'll play an interrogation or a questioning session about 3 days after his wife and son were found murdered. So let's go through this brief timeline. So I'm probably not going to read it word for word, but just to give everybody a little bit of a context and some background. And forgive me, I have been fighting a cold since Tuesday. I may be sipping a lot of water this evening. Okay. So everything we need to know about the Murdaugh family murders, including details and allegations against Alec. Hang on one second. I just got to check something really quick here, and then we can move on. Perfect. Okay. So, so it starts off at June 7th. Let's see. Since the wife and son are of the, I'll get this out tonight. Believe me. Since the wife and son are a prominent South Carolina family, were found murdered. Since the wife and son of a prominent South Carolina family were murdered in June of 2021, the Murdaugh family murder case has taken shocking twists and turns. So we had June 7th, 2021, Margaret Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh were found dead at the family hunting lodge. It says on June 7, 2021, agents of the South Carolina law enforcement responded to a late 911 call saying that 2 people were dead at a residence in Islington, South Carolina. Margaret Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and her son Paul Murdaugh, 22, were found dead on the 1,770 acre property where the family had a hunting lodge. The 2 were survived by Maggie's husband, Alec Murdaugh, then 53, and his son Richard, aka Buster, both members of a powerful Murdaugh family who have been practicing law in South Carolina since 1910. It's crazy. It's a lot of generations. 3 generations of family, having also served as solicitors of the 14th Judicial Circuit for more than 86 years. So Alec's son, Paul, was awaiting a trial in connection with a 2019 boat crash that left a 19-year-old woman dead, police said. In April that year, Paul, then 20, was arrested and later indicted on charges of 1 count of boating while under the influence, causing the death, and 2 counts of causing significant bodily injury, online records show. After attending a gathering in Paris Island in February, Paul, who had allegedly been drinking, got behind the wheel of a boat with 5 passengers that crashed into a bridge piling at about 2 a.m., court records show. Mallory Beach, 19, was thrown from the boat. Her body was found 1 week later. That's awful. That's tragic. In May of 2019, Paul pled guilty. He was released on a $50,000 bond. No trial date had been set. Days after the murders, Alec's brother appealed on a Good Morning America, insulting that Paul was threatened online before the murdering and insisting Alec did not have anything to do with the deaths of his wife and his son. So now that's going to take us to June 10th, 2021. Ralph Murdaugh III dies at 81 years old. Tragically struck the family again 3 days later after Maggie and Paul's death. Then the family, well-known prosecutor Ralph Murdaugh III, 81, died according to now functional law firm Peter Murdaugh, Parker S. Roth, and Dittrich. This is where this gets really strange now. This is like the strange part of this case. So September 4th. So now we were in June. Now we just fast forward a couple of months. We're in September. September 4th, Alec Murdaugh is shot and survives. This is crazy. On September 4th, 2021, news broke that Alec had been shot in Hampton County, South Carolina. Quote, he was shot in the head while he was changing a tire, Alec's attorney, Jim Griffin, confirmed to People. He was conscious and talking, which is a very good sign. It's amazing. An unidentified Good Samaritan reportedly drove him to the hospital where EMTs began treatment and called in a helicopter to airlift Alec to the hospital. Griffin told People that Alex suffered an entry and exit wound, a skull fracture, and minor brain bleeding in 2 places. At the time, he was also said that the gunshot wound was not self-inflicted. So at the time, he also said that the gunshot wound was not inflicted. It's not self-inflicted. So I'm sure that's probably the lawyer that was saying that. SLED, spokesman Tommy Cosby, added to People, agents are actively investigating the incident, and local authorities classified it as an aptitude murder. Hold pause for 2 seconds. I'm just going to check something here. Okay. Back to the article. 2 days later, Alec, whose wounds were superficial, unreal. The SLED told People, released a statement saying that he was leaving his job at Peter Murdaugh, Parker, Ezroth, and Deirdre, and entering treatment once he left the hospital. The murders of my wife and son have caused an incredibly difficult time in my life, he said in a statement which was obtained by the Island Packet. I've made a lot of decisions that I truly regret. I resigned from my law firm and entering rehab after a long battle that has been exacerbated by these murders. I am immensely sorry for everyone I've hurt, including my family, friends, and colleagues. He continued, as I ask for prayers, as I rehabilitate myself in my relationships. So we were at September 4th when Alec was shot. Now we're going to go forward to September 7th. And this is where things start really unfolding and just start getting really twisty and turny and weird. September 7, 2021, Alec Murdaugh accused of stealing $1 million from the law firm. And that is just a crazy twist and turn in that part of the story too. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that kind of give the background as to what happened in that too. I'm not going to go too much into this. I kind of want to skip through the timeline and get to the body cam footages. So now on September 8th, 2021, Randy Murdaugh, the fourth, releases a statement. Amid the news, Alec's older brother, Randy, came forward in September 2021 and denounced the alleged criminal actions of his brother, speaking out for the first time since Alec resigned from his law firm due to the partners accusing him of misappropriation funds. Randy said in a statement obtained by People, I was shocked. Just as the rest of my PM-PED family, to learn of my brother Alec's drug addiction and stealing money. I love my law firm, family, and I also love my Alec as my brother, Randy wrote. While I support him in his recovery, I do not support, condone, or excuse his conduct in stealing and manipulating his most trusted relationships. Everybody still with me out there? All right, as we move on, September 15th, authorities reveal Alec Murdaugh arranged his own shooting. So here's another crazy twist and turn in all of this. On September 15th, 2021, there was a surprise break in Alec's shooting case. Authorities allege he attempted to arrange his shooting death for his surviving son, who received $10 million in life insurance. Curtis Edward Smith, this man's picture here, pretty terrible picture, I might add. The man allegedly hired to kill him was arrested in South Carolina Law Enforcement Division on September 15, 2021, and charged with assault, assisted suicide, assault, and battery in highly aggravated nature, pointing and pressuring presenting a firearm, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. That man's in a lot of trouble. According to Smith's arrest affidavit, which People obtained, Alex conspired with Smith, then 61, in a scheme to shoot him and allegedly provide Smith with a firearm and directed him to shoot him in the head. Holy smokes. So now we're going to fast forward now to September 15, 2021. Alec Murdaugh arrested in his own shooting. Alec's attorney stated on September 15, 2021, saying they have learned of a warrant for his arrest and he has planned to surrender to authorities the next day. On September 16, 2021, as promised, Alec pulled up in a Hampton County Law Enforcement Center in an SUV and turned himself in. So we had family murders in June, the unwinding in September of his law firm. You have the assisted suicide, and then he turns himself in September 16, 2021. Wow, this is weird. September 15, 2021, the 2018 death of housekeeper Gloria Scatterfield is investigated. And this is where I think a lot of the misappropriated funds was happening. September 16, 2021, Alec Murdaugh appears in court. October 13, 2021, Alec Murdaugh is revealed to be the person of interest in the murders of his wife and son. So from June, a couple months later now in October, they're kind of placing him to be the person of interest after this investigation. I got my main man in the chat. Give us. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I looked up really quick. I thought it was BC. I'm sorry, SC. I actually talked to your dad last night. It was a really great chat, by the way. I apologize. SC in the chat. We'll give her a wrench. This case continues to blow my mind because there's always something around the corner. It is a crazy case. It's really, really crazy. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining the show. I actually had a really great conversation with your dad last night. You can go back and watch the replay. It was great. Flathead Politics said, this case is crazy. I'm even suspicious about how Mrs. Shatterfield died. Yeah, there's been a lot about that as well, too. I know a lot of people have been talking about that. Let me get through this timeline. And then really what I want to get in the meat of the bones of the show is getting into those body cam footage, because it is fascinating. This man was trying for an Oscar, I'll tell you. It's October 14th. So we had the 13th, the 14th. They now arrest Alec Murdaugh, and they arrest on new charges. So he's got charges stemming from his assisted suicide, stemming from now the murders of his family. He's got also allegations of fraud. I mean, this guy just went down hard. He's going to go down hard. October 14th, 2021, medical records disprove Alec Murdaugh was struck by a bullet. Wow. It just gets crazier and crazier, folks. It gets nuts. We get to November 18th, 2021. The grand jury charges Alec Murdaugh with 27 counts of financial misconduct. So here's the charges now from the embezzlement of the money. You got January 21st, 2022. Alec Murdaugh now faces more charges. Those indictments charged him with 19 counts of breach of trust with fraudulent intent and 4 counts of computer crimes. Hang on one second. I just want to get the stream. Okay. June 29, 2022, Alec Murdaugh indicted on money laundering charges. So the charges just keep piling up with this guy. I mean, even if, I think by slim chance, I mean, the evidence is pretty strong against Murdaugh. I mean, even if we just beat the murder rap, I mean, this financial stuff is going to get him, would probably put him behind bars for a very, very long time. Allegedly. All right, July 14, 2022, Alec Murdaugh is indicted for the murders of his wife and his son. All right, so July 15, 2022, people report Alec Murdaugh allegedly lured wife to cabin on night when she was killed. This is a very sick man. And then we have January 23rd, 2023, Murdaugh trial begins. So, we're about a month and a half into the trial. January 25th, 2023, prosecutors detail how Alec Murdaugh's son's cell phone placed him at the murder scene. If you haven't gone back and seen that, the forensic breakdown in the DNA of that digital DNA is amazing. I watched a segment on one of the court channels, and they were actually, at the trial filming it, and I watched that and how they, outline all the forensic DNA of the phones, the locations, and I'll tell you, you're going to see a lot of that in the Kohberger trial as well. Let's see. Hang on one second. I just want to... Something is going on with my chat this evening. Give me 2 seconds. I hate to interrupt the show like this, but I want to check something out here. Something's going on with my chat. Okay, should be good. Of course. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's read through this article really quick, trying to get to the end of it here. So, February 1st, 2023, Alec Murdaugh last text to wife revealed in court on the 2nd of February. Prosecutors show video of Alec Murdaugh wearing 2 different shirts on the night of the murders. Yeah, it's not looking too good here. On the 6th, Alec Murdaugh's mother caregiver testifies at the trial. On the 8th, the trial is interrupted by a bomb threat. Wow. On the 15th, Murdaugh's sister-in-law testifies. And that's about where we're at right now. So we're 5 days past the 15th, past the testified by his sister-in-law. What I want to do is pull up the body cam footage of when police first arrived on scene, and you're going to get kind of a feeling of Alex, how he was, and it's interesting, to say the least. So let's bring this up. We'll play through this. You guys want to comment, please.
If you have a side gig and need to file your taxes,
phone lines are open,
freetaxusa.com. With us, your federal return is always free.
Murdaugh, we can talk. Kohberger, anything that's on your mind.
Central 717 scene is secure. Got a Whiskey Fox, Whiskey Mike, both gunshot wounds to the head.
Sir, I want to let you know, because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
This is right here. This is like the moment I felt like it was that cookie jar moment. I didn't eat the cookies, and he's got the chocolate all over his face.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
And son.
Okay.
I mean, listen, if I rolled up and my wife and son are dead, murdered, gunshot wounds to their head, I think I would be on the ground, ultimately screaming and sobbing and crying. There's no tears here. And he would not win the Oscar for Best Actor. So, well, actually, you would win the Oscar for the Best Actor. Let's play through this.
It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir. This is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and got. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back.
No tears.
He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
I mean, this is, to me, when I see this, it's like practice. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What is the timeline? I'm going to go through it in my head. I'm going to rehearse it. I'm going to, play it over. What do I say when they get here?
He's been getting like punched. I know that's what it is.
Okay. When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has
1,000%
late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
SC.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on.
What am
my
I going
phone
to do?
and
What
tell
am I
you
going to
exact
say?
time. Did you check?
Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay. How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call.
Okay.
And then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
You might want to unload it. But I mean,
No tears.
Is this the only firearm with you? This is the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one?
No tears.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally
certain that's
have
right.
any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but
Okay.
occasionally there's a pistol.
Okay.
No tears.
Just wait right here for me for a second, okay?
I'm going to speed this up a little bit and we'll get back to when he, well, no, I think they're going to get back to Alec in a second. So let's just play it out.
Go ahead, sir. Yes, well, I've already spoken with Captain Deal. He's got crime scene. He's contacted them. He's also going to give us the assistance of a couple of field agents. Roger that. No,
Are you checking to see if
They
they're
are
dead?
dead, aren't they?
I just turned on those.
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
No tears. No tears.
Where are you now? All right. Yeah,
Get this
police
man
are
an
here.
Oscar.
The police are here now. That's my brother.
Okay. When was the last time you were here with them, or talked to them, or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half
guys
from my
buying it?
mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before
Let's throw a
that.
poll up.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
Somebody going to check them?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check them.
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead.
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
I mean, I don't want to laugh about anybody being dead or murdered, but this guy is
I'm very sorry.
just won't believe it.
Gotta call her parents.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Maggie Murdaugh. Margaret Brandstetter Murdaugh. How you doing?
What's her birthday?
Who would say how you doing
68.
Okay.
at
And
a
what's your son's
murder
first
scene
name?
where your
You said
wife
Paul?
Paul
and
Terry
son
Murdaugh.
murdered?
And what's his birthday?
Jason, do you have anybody
4.
coming through town that could stop and pick up that tent? I see lighting off in the distance.
What are they covering them up?
I got some getting dressed now, Sheriff. I'll have somebody stop and grab it.
Tell them they don't have to do that. They don't need to. Preserve what we can.
SC says it makes me laugh because it's acting so horrible. Yeah, I mean that's basically what I was laughing at. I'm not going to laugh at a tragic situation where an innocent woman and child were killed by allegedly by this scumbag here. It just the acting is so bad.
1999, sir.
Put it up as wide as you can.
There's no fucking tears. There's
That's fine.
no tears.
You said 99?
0 tears through this. And it just even gets more interesting when you see when they get him inside the truck and have the first kind of interview with him. Kristen's checking in.
Richard Alexander Murdaugh.
Kristen's a channel member. Thank you so much. She says, "How you doing?" What the
Richard Alexander Murdaugh.
I'm doing well. How are you, Kristen? Kristen's a channel member. She supports the channel down there. If you guys want to support, please go down. You can hit the join button and support for just $2 a month. There's 9 people watching right now. If you guys can all do me a favor, hit that upvote button, guys. I really would appreciate it.
Come around the truck and then go to the building.
The constant wiping
around the truck
of imaginary tears. That's 1000% SC.
What's that?
There's a set of footprints behind the trailer there too.
Okay.
Phone lines are open 774-855-9400. Anybody wants to call in, we can talk Murdaugh, we can talk Koberger, whatever you guys like. If you need a therapist, you need a therapy session, you need a friend, I'm here.
Let's go over to that corner of the building.
She said I was referring to AM's response, but I also hope you're doing very well. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the how you doing? How you doing? Who the hell would think of that situation?
I see quite a few tire tracks in here. Were any of these you going in and out?
No, I came in here and I left one time and I came back.
Okay.
So what'd you leave for? Oh, you left to go get the gun and come back and shoot everybody.
The rest of them, maybe
You legend.
from earlier, but
Okay.
only 2 are mine.
Did you go out this way at all?
No.
Hey, stay here. Got a whole bunch of stuff right there. I don't want to disturb.
I was trying to get the door here so we can kind of get around that way.
Your best way is probably going to be back through those rocks because we can't get any tracks off those rocks anymore.
We'll go back around the other way we just came.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'll get that in a little bit then.
Okay.
Kristen, I have a treat for you. Let's see. I'm hoping by Wednesday or Thursday, you're going to... Well, actually, hang on. Let me see.
What unit's 23 on those up? House 7 unit on scene. Are you behind the house?
There's several of us out here. There's a long dirt driveway right next to the mailbox.
Kristen, on Wednesday.
You'll see all our
Wednesday
lights
morning,
here.
8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the new video I dropped. I'm sure you're going to be really happy.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to speed up a little bit and cruise through a little bit of this and see if we get back to Alec. I just want you guys to see the reaction. And then we'll get him inside the SUV, the first somewhat interview of what happened. It may not have much more here. Just looks like police talking. Okay, here we go. He's back here.
I think the ghost fucked my husband.
I don't know. This commercial
Sorry, what?
up all the time.
Well, technically, it was my body, but I'm pretty sure she was driving.
All right, this looks like police. What do we got? This is the bodies. See if we go back to Alec at all. This looks more like police covering the bodies. Yeah, there's not much more of Murdaugh in this. All right. I'm not going to play too much of that. I just wanted you guys to see the beginning of that video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have we had the initial scene of when law enforcement arrived. Now they're going to get Alec inside the police SUV and actually start asking some questions. And this is what I really want you guys to pay attention because it's interesting. All right, let's widen the screen here and play this out. It's funny. In something that I want you guys to notice right there. I'm going to rewind it. Watch when the video first starts playing. He almost looks right up at the camera like he knows the camera's watching or recording. See, right there. I'll rewind it again. Boom, he looks right at the camera.
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, state your full name for me, please.
Richard Alexander Murdaugh.
$5 super chat from Kristen Brown. She's a channel member. Thank you so much.
And show your last
you
name
and your
so I can
channel
get
the
it
best.
Murdaugh.
Thank you so much for the super chat. I'll tell you, today was a really great day. I think I brought in about 100 new subscribers. So it's all thanks to you guys. You know, you coming here, interacting on the live streams, coming in, interacting on the videos, getting this channel pushed out into the algorithm. You know, I can't do this alone. It takes a team to do this, and you guys are part of this team. So I really do appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Let's keep playing through. This is interesting.
All right. And you go by Alec?
Yes, sir.
And date of birth, Mr. Murdaugh?
May 27th, 1968.
And a good phone number for you.
803 942
67% basically Alec is acting genuine about his reaction.
And so what was your name?
Him as innocent.
Yeah, Danny Henderson. Okay.
Interesting. So 67% of you, 3 votes, think that Alec is innocent.
All right. As I stated, I'm David Owen in Lower Rutland with Colleton County, and I'm with SLED. I hate to have to do this.
I understand. Yeah. I totally understand. Yeah. So
no
you don't have any problem with it.
No tears.
Just start at the top. Take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see them, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was
fake tears. No tears. And I'm sure that touch is going to probably stimulate a little bit more reaction. You know, that it's kind of what's going on here. It's probably assisting in the fakeness. Right, the eyes.
And
no tears.
I could see his brain on his...
4 hours later. Thanks for pointing that out, Dr. Bob. I appreciate that.
And I ran over to Maggie. And,
no tears.
Actually, I think I tried to turn Paul
I wouldn't be able
over
to talk at this
first
point if I found my wife and child like that.
You know, I tried to turn him over, and I don't know. I figured it out. His cell phone popped.
When my brother passed away in 2013, one of the toughest things that I had to ever do was walk into the funeral home to go to the wake. I mean, I couldn't even walk. I was sobbing so bad. And he didn't even die. He didn't die in a you know, a tragedy like this. I can, you know, I look at if it's real, I would be a puddle. Worse so even that, you know, if I was the person that found my wife and child shot, I would be more than a puddle. I wouldn't be able to get through this. So it's interesting.
Popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and I mean, I could see.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
I tried to take, I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them. And, I called 911 pretty much right away. And she was very good. I talked to her.
Kristen, keep in mind,
I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family members.
Very hot this time of year down there.
I did
even
that.
At night. 89
and,
degrees, about 100% humidity at that time of year.
What family members did you call?
I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John. And I tried to call a little boy, real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him.
What all was around Paul when you walked up?
Blood.
Anything else?
There was some body things, yes, sir.
Like any other evidence? I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of Paul?
No, sir. Not. No, sir.
How about Maggie?
No, sir.
You didn't see anything around them? What made you come out here tonight?
I went to, my mom's a late stage Alzheimer's patient. My dad's in the hospital. My mom gets anxious when she does. I went to check on them and Maggie. Maggie's a dog lover, and she fools with the dogs. And I knew she'd gone to the kennel. I was at the house. I left the house and went to my mom's for just a little while. Tried to call her when I left. Texted her, no response. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there. So I figured they're still up here fooling around. Paul was gonna be getting set up to plant our sunflower seeds. Got sprayed and died, and he was refiguring to plant the sunflower seeds. So I came back up here and I drove up and saw and called.
Guilty or innocent, guys? Poll at the top in the chat. What do you think? Guilty or innocent?
Had Maggie and Paul been arguing over anything?
What the consensus thinks out there.
What was their relationship like?
Guilty or innocent?
How about yours and Maggie's?
Wonderful. I'm sure we had little things here and there, but we had a wonderful marriage, wonderful relationship.
And yours and Paul's relationship?
As good as it could be.
How old was Paul?
22.
Okay. You know his date of birth?
I do. April 11th, 96 is his brother's. April 14th, 99 is Paul's.
Wow. How about, what's Maggie's full name?
Margaret Brandstetter.
Wow.
Murdaugh.
What a weird case.
And her date of birth, sir?
September 15th, 1968.
Have y'all been having any problems out here? Trespassers, people breaking in?
None that I know of. The only thing what comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck a couple years ago, and there's been he was charged with.
I know we don't know how we're going to react in the moment, and everyone reacts different, but I couldn't even explain how my dog passed away for the first few days after I found him deceased. That's a great point. And that's some of the things that we talk about in the Koberger trial as well, too, with the surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen. We've talked a lot about her on this channel, her reaction, the 8-hour delay. It's just, knowing the background, the financial background of the fraud, the drug addiction, the faked, murder, the fake suicide. It just, it makes me not want to believe this. Christine says he's making it so hard. He's making it so hard to defend him. He's just off. BC checking in. How you doing, man? Says, I think he's generally sorry he did it, which usually isn't the case. Let's give BC a wrench. BC is now a wrench in the chat. Welcome to the club. We had a great conversation last night in our Brian Koberger stream. If you guys haven't gone and seen that, you can go back and check that out. Excuse me. And so BC, I wanted to point this out. It's interesting today, and thank you for that content, because that I cut it down into about a 40-minute segment, uploaded it today if you haven't seen it, and it's got a little bit of a viral kick to it. I brought in close to about another 100 subscribers to the channel today, so thank you for that. And the thing that we get pegged on about it was everybody keeps pointing out that there was not snow at the King Road residence the night of the murders. So I said, look, there's a lot of information that flows through these cases. Sometimes when you're talking about different cases and situations, that sometimes that information gets lost. And look, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. But the chat was great that night. They corrected some of the things that we had asked questions about. And that's why we do this. We open the dialogue up for everybody to talk about it. So, but thank you. Thank you for calling in last night. It was really, really great content.
Being arrested for being the driver. There's been a lot of negative publicity about that. And there's been a lot of people online.
I think
just
that
really vile stuff.
What I'm kind of, my opinion in all of this is that Alec is using this setup here to try to put out a feeler for a potential, there's someone running around and they wanted to murder my son because of this boat accident that he killed a young lady. I think that's why he was using this to set up and commit this crime,
but
to get the heat off
when
him.
Paul's out and about, people routinely, I don't think I know the full story, because I don't think they give it to me, but he's been punched and hit and just attacked a lot. So, but nothing like this.
Yeah. Any one person in particular or group of people?
I don't know.
That you could think of?
Not that I know, no, sir.
Has he, other than being assaulted, has he received any direct threats related to the boat accident?
Oh, yes. All the time he gets
recently?
Yes, sir. He gets them all the time.
Okay.
He gets them all the time.
What kind of,
I'm gonna kick your ass, I've never been privy firsthand,
Thank you for your
tip and the tip jar.
No, ma'am. It's mostly like,
it's very nice of you.
If he goes out places is what he goes out like somewhere. He's in college, so if he goes out, is what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I can find out better details from some of his younger friends on that.
Who's his best friend?
BC saying, I still can't believe
his best friend in Colombia.
They don't do gunpowder residue immediately on these types of scenes. That's a good point.
Chapman, Will Loving.
I think from what I remember watching this, they do what do they do? Do they do the buccal swab here? It's either here or in the third day of the investigation, they do a buccal swab, which would be a DNA swab.
Bobby Boyle, Will Chapman, and Paul were getting ready to move into a house together.
But maybe that's because of the way that, I don't know. I wonder why they don't do that right away. This is very interesting. That was a good point.
in Columbia.
You said Will Chapman and Will
Maybe
Loving?
because he's not a suspect at this point.
Wills with an S,
Okay.
Chapman,
That could be it.
and Will
But I'm
with
sure
an L, Loving.
Okay.
that the clothing, the clothing that's kind of collected from that evening
Around here,
I don't
his
know.
best
That's pretty
friends
interesting.
are
It's a good point.
clearly Nolan Tootin and Rogan Gibson.
Nolan Tootin.
Yes, sir.
And what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Rogan Gibson.
Have you talked with any of these guys tonight?
Talked with Nolan, yes, sir.
Is he out here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I tried to call Rogan, was one of the people he's the boy that I told you lives around the corner.
Okay.
That's very, he's just a good, helpful young man. You mind if I open the door really quickly?
Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. So is there anybody that you can think of that we need to talk to tonight? Is there a name that comes to mind?
I mean, I can't tell you anybody that I'm overly suspicious of off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, this is such a stupid thing. I'm even embarrassed to say it.
So with the poll,
But it
we
just
got
didn't
3 votes. 60
make any sense. I just hired a guy out here, and
33% think he's
he
innocent.
he wasn't cutting the mustard, but
Really?
I hadn't told him this yet. Paul's been working with him a lot. He killed the sunflower seeds in our dove field just recently, which is why Paul was here doing this. He told Paul a story the other day about how when he was in high school, he got in a fight with some black guys. And the FBI undercover team observed him fighting those guys and put him on an undercover team with 3 Navy SEALs. And that their job was to kill radical Black Panthers. And they did that from Myrtle Beach to Savannah. Now, I really don't think this guy, is probably the person, but that's just so friggin'.
Yeah, that's kind of far-fetched story.
It's weird, but he was off today.
Okay.
He took his daddy to the doctor.
What's his name?
CB Rowe.
ROWE.
But the thing that's really crazy about this too is how fluid his information is. How there's no distraction. There's no breaking down moment. There's no. I mean, I've seen genuine body cam footage or interrogations of when someone may find a family member murdered or they come upon someone that's close to them that's dead, and just I don't know, there's too much clarity here going on. It's not even in the forefront of his mind anymore.
A message to text me earlier today about the sunflowers, and he called me back when I was on the way to
that's far
my mom's house.
Right.
Did you talk to him at that time?
Briefly, I was on the phone with a lawyer friend of mine named Chris Wilson from Bamberg, so I told him I'd call him back.
My brother,
tomorrow.
my son,
See him in the morning.
If I was
when
married,
you briefly
my wife,
talked to
was
Mr.
dead.
Rowe, what was his demeanor or attitude?
There's no fucking way I'd be able to get through this.
I mean, it seemed normal. I mean, I asked him about the sunflowers, and so, I mean, sure,
Kristen, have a great night. Thank you so much.
Where does he live?
I don't exactly know. Somewhere in Bronson.
Okay. Do you have his phone number?
I do.
You got it with you, please, sir?
I do.
There's too much clarity.
But I do think him and Paul got along pretty well. That's just really, really weird. All right.
Oh, excuse me.
CB.
Right there in your lap.
Here, I know he called me, so I'll go to that.
843-540-9335. You need to get that phone on the charge, Alec, if you can. Is that an iPhone?
Yes, sir.
Watch your leg for a second, please.
Thank you.
When did you tell that story to Paul?
Sometime last week.
Okay.
SC, I
Sometime
would
last
like to
week.
hear your version
My son Paul
of the story that you're
actually.
going to tell me. Your dad kind of filled me in on some of the details last night, but we do another
I really
Idaho show.
do
I'm going
not
to call in and just kind of give me the account of
think,
what happened.
on all honesty,
firsthand.
that it's
I'd love
him,
to
but I
hear
know
your
y'all got
story.
to check it out. But Paul was so taken aback by it that he sent, I'll find it, I got it on my phone. He recorded him saying bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
No. But for all his weirdness, I mean, I do think they got along
Okay.
pretty good.
How long had he been working here?
I guess about 3 or 4 pay periods, so 8 weeks, a couple months.
Okay. Going back to the boat incident, anybody on that boat really have a hard on for Paul that you would think would come after him, or know of any direct threats from people on the boat?
I don't know of any direct threats between any of the people on the boat specifically, but I do think there's been a small amount of yip yap between a couple of them, but not recently.
Okay.
Most of this was stuff from people that Paul didn't really know.
Okay.
It was some people that he knew distantly, but more times than not, when I learned about it, it was somebody that he didn't know.
Okay.
It's like, for example, he went out in Charleston a couple months ago, came back, he got a black eye. And, he can't defend himself right now because he has these charges. So, Paul was a real tough man's man.
Mm-hmm.
He would just.
He would defend himself, but he hadn't been.
That's right. But.
How was he handling that case? Moving over everybody.
As far as what?
How was he handling it?
I've never been prouder of him than the way he has handled the pressures and the adversity in that situation. I think I've told Danny that before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Paul is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful kid. He can do almost anything. He gets along with almost anybody.
Do y'all store any weapons out here?
We don't store them, but they're frequently out here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find out if there were any out here, because I know there was a shotgun. There was a 12-gauge shotgun out here. I'll have to find out exactly when that was. I think it got put up, but I'm not positive.
What did that shotgun look like?
It was a camouflage. I want to say it was a Benelli or maybe a Beretta. I can't remember which brand it is. But I don't think it was out here.
Okay.
Recently. But I'm not positive.
And the shotgun that you had when deputies pulled up, where did that come from?
I went to the house and I got a gun. Probably overreacting, but.
And was that when you pulled up and saw them?
No, I came out and I called 911 first.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to them for a little while, and then I told her.
You told her
that I was going to go to the house.
Okay.
And that I would let authorities know when they got here that I had a gun.
Okay. Do you happen to have a list of all your guns?
I can make one. I don't have one, but I can make one.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, so we could compare if that shotgun was out here and now it's missing.
Absolutely.
Try to figure that out.
No, absolutely.
And I know living out here in the country, you probably have more than one or two.
We do. We probably have 20, 25 guns.
Yeah. Shotguns, rifles.
Pistols.
Any rifles?
Yes, sir.
What kind of rifles?
All kinds.
Yeah.
All kinds. You name it, across the board, we have them.
Okay.
And all of them we have are, in a hunting room in our house.
Yeah, cop, looks like you got a lot of questions to ask.
What was their schedule today? When did they get home?
My son works for my brother, and he was coming home to deal with the sunflowers. He got here. He got here pretty early because he and I rode around looking at everything for a good little while, probably 45 minutes to an hour. Maggie had things she did in Charleston, and she had a doctor's appointment in Charleston, and she got back here. It was fairly late.
Was it dark yet when Paul got home?
No, Paul got home early.
Early, okay. So before dinner time?
BC's asking, why would you be
ma'am.
overreacting by getting a gun if you just found your family murdered in the dark? Because you knew
what brother
threat.
Brother does Paul work for?
1,000%.
John Marvin.
Completely agree.
And what does Paul do for him?
Everything.
Just handyman?
Yes, sir.
Was it unusual for Maggie to feed the dogs this time of night or check on them?
Oh, no. She played with those dogs all the time. And it's especially common for her to, she's been gone for a while, to come and let especially two of them out to run.
Okay, so she pretty regularly comes out here in the evenings?
Very regularly.
Okay.
She comes out here a lot.
Do you have any cameras on your property?
I have deer cameras, but none,
How convenient.
around up here.
How convenient.
Where are they at?
On different deer stands.
Okay, so deep in the woods.
Well, not necessarily
Dr.
deep in the
Bob,
woods. Some of them are in
with a
fields, and
$20 super chat. Great show.
there's none that
All
are near here.
Okay.
We'll give Dr. Bob a bell. A big super chat.
What doctor's appointment?
I do appreciate that. I'm sorry.
What doctor did Maggie see today?
Steving on the stream, just taking care of some.
I forget the guy's name. Maggie's been having trouble with her.
Too much because I want you guys to hear.
She's been having trouble with her stomach and her tooth. I'm not positive. It was sort of a routine.
With me, and appreciate it. Thank you.
Visit.
Dr. Bob,
I can't remember.
Subscribe. Please make sure to subscribe.
She told me the name of it, and I can't.
Give it a thumbs up.
I want to say Gordine.
So we're at
Gordine
at the top right now.
Is who I think she saw.
Interesting. This is interesting. Is 50% of the people think
so? Was she back home around supper time, or
innocent,
or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
No camera, exactly.
I don't think she got back quite that early. I think she got back a little bit later than that.
Seeing how much we can get him to say. Absolutely. Just doesn't add up.
What did you do today? Were you at the office or?
Nope, I was home. I came home. Paul and I messed around. I was up at the house. I laid down, took a nap on the couch, probably, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes. I got up, I called Maggie, didn't get an answer, and I left to go to my mom's. She had said she might ride with me, but she normally doesn't when I go over there. And I think I texted her. And she's very good about answering the phone, so that was odd.
I don't know.
Me
it's
back.
just too
So
well
that was
rehearsed.
odd, but it wasn't that
To
big
me,
a deal.
it seems too well rehearsed.
Now, what time was that?
What time was what?
That you sent her a text message.
Just seems off.
All right.
Very off.
I texted her at 9:08, going to check on M, be right back. And then I texted her at 9:47. That must be when I started to come back. I think I called her before that. But let me make sure. Pretty sure that I called her.
What was that?
9:45. And then I tried Paul. And then, no, I think that was riding. I think that might have been riding over there.
Yes, big time. There's actually, if you go, maybe, we'll do this again. And there's actually a segment on, what is it? Crime and it's going to slip my mind right now. Crime and something network. And I should know this. It's just slipping my mind right now. They actually did in the courtroom trial, did actually the forensic analysis, the forensic DNA analysis of his phone. And it literally, and I've talked about this, and this is what I always say about Kohberger. You guys are going to see this in the Kohberger case. It literally, there's a device or a program they use that can pinpoint the coordination literally by down to the foot of where he would be in measurements, and put him at coordinates, access coordinates on the grid of where he is. So it doesn't, I can't believe it.
10:03. I mean, my calls are right here.
Yeah.
So,
SC says,
obviously this is
listening to the detective
when I,
they usually
at 10:06,
when they say usually we do this, or typically we're here doing this, it's instant red flags because it is rehearsed. I got 13 people watching, and only half of you have hit the upvote button. If you could just hit the upvote button for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren Crime. Thank you so much, SC. Just real quick, hit that upvote button. We'll get this out into the algorithm so we can get more people over watching.
Thank you.
Anybody else want some gum?
No, sir.
You don't have any water, do you, Danny? I'm sorry, I don't need it.
If you, behind Danny's head is a case of water.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I got some right here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Sounds very Kohberger-ish. Up until yesterday, I thought he was innocent, and I heard him in Paul's video after he said he didn't go down there. You thought he was innocent?
We're gonna have much
really?
more questions.
I felt sketchiness right away when I started seeing this footage.
What's another number in case I can't get you on your cell?
I don't have a house phone.
Okay.
An office number. I can give you my brother's cell phones.
All right. What's Randy's?
Okay, Randy's is 803-943-8881.
That phone number must have changed since then.
And John's?
John Marvin's is 843-321.
14 people watching and only 5 upvotes, and I lost a vote. Someone downvoted me. Come on, we're gonna get these upvotes up there.
And you said your dad's in the hospital?
Just at least 10.
Which hospital? Charleston or
Savannah, Candler, St. Joseph's.
Is he doing okay, or what's?
He's having a really, really hard time. He's got a lot going on. You know, he's doing okay given everything, but he's got a lot going on.
About Maggie's family, where are they?
Somerville.
Have you been in touch with them tonight?
Contacted, yes. I had my brother call Bart, the wife of his sister, and the husband of Maggie's sister, so that they could go and tell Maggie's parents. I felt like they needed to hear it in person, and they are going there and calling me. So they must not be there yet.
Maggie's parents in Somerville?
Yes, and her mom just had a knee replacement surgery, and her dad really has trouble getting around nowadays.
Do you have any other children?
I do. I have a 24-year-old.
That's right, you said. What's his name?
Buster. Well, Richard Alexander Jr.
Okay. He goes by Buster.
He goes by Buster.
Is he here tonight?
He's on his way.
Okay.
I don't know. The brain is too clear at this point. It's just sketchy to me.
Laura, you got anything?
That he's not crying.
This one's hard.
Down.
But when you first saw Paul, you said you tried to flip him over. Was he laying on his back or on his stomach?
Just like he is.
Just like he is. So you weren't able to move him. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And did he help Maggie a lot out here with the animals?
He helped everybody with everything.
Okay, so it was kind of routine for him to be out here as well in the evening?
This place is his absolute passion.
Okay.
I tried to turn him, and then I checked him, and I think I already knew, but I checked him.
And when you first pulled into the property, did you come from this direction where all our police cars are, or which way did you come in?
I went to the house.
Okay.
And then I came from the house
this way.
Straight here, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where my vehicle was parked is probably
is where it was. Okay.
Well, no, maybe not exactly, but it was pretty close because I came back the same route.
That's right, because you went back to get your shotgun.
When I came back.
So if he killed him, that's the key statement. What statement? You want me to go back? Because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention. I was drifting a little bit. Sometimes when you're I'm looking at like multiple screens. I'm trying to watch the chat. I'm queuing up other videos. I'm going to go back a minute. Let's listen again.
I tried to turn him, and then I checked him, and I think I already knew, but I checked him.
And when you first pulled into the property, did you come from this direction where all our police cars are, or which way did you come in?
I went to the house.
Okay.
And then I came from the house
this way.
Straight here, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where my vehicle was parked is probably
is where it was. Okay.
Well, no, maybe not exactly, but it was pretty close because I came back the same route.
That's right, because you went back to get your shotgun.
When I came back.
All right. I can't think of anything else right now, but we'll certainly be in touch.
Thank y'all for everything y'all are doing.
Yes, sir. So, just to kind of let you know what's going to go on, we're going to be out here for quite some time. The coroner will take custody of Paul and Maggie.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What? No, we're finished. Let me come out. Well, I'll be here when he gets here.
That's right. True.
No, don't let him come up here. Okay, yeah. I think we're about done.
It's interesting. I'm just watching the body language of the questioning officer, and it just he sends bullshit. He's been doing this a long time. They know body language. And I think in the next the next video, he even just senses. He says, "Look, you're in this. You've been in this, and you're going to hear that, and you're going to hear Murdaugh ask him, am I a suspect in this thing?" Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry.
Buster, get in here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. You're very true.
I dropped my card.
Still no tears.
Sorry.
I'll get you one.
There you go.
Thank you.
So the coroner will come over and talk to you. They'll do the autopsy and everything, and then go from there.
Thank you.
But we'll come see you before we leave.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Rutland.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
No tears. Let me run out of this truck. Quick, go, run.
Here, you want this water?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I was going to play through the next video in kind of this series, but it is getting late here on the East Coast. It's 10:17 p.m. and I do work a normal job. So not only do I do YouTube in my spare time, but I have a career as well. So I'm probably going to end this stream for the evening. What I'll do is I'll set up, if you guys are interested in seeing this and, us kind of walking through and in quarterbacking these, I'll set the next couple of interrogations up and we'll just go through and kind of rip through these together and give our thoughts. And I think that would be fun. The next stream that I have planned is on, let me see here. It's going to be on, I'll be back on Wednesday night and we're going to jump back to Idaho and Brian Koberger possibly being an incel. So I'd love for you guys to check that out. And I actually going to be pulling up an article from Airmail. It's a site called Airmail. And this gentleman over there has been doing a lot of great work on reporting. So we'll pull that up. We'll walk through that. And I'll set up some reminders here. And we'll go through the rest of these Alec Murdaugh interviews, because I find them very fascinating, very interesting as they kind of progress and go along, and kind of the tone in all of them. But that's going to probably be it. Let me look at the poll. We had 6 votes. Wow, this is very interesting. So we end the poll at 6 votes. 50% of you think he's guilty and 50% of you think he's innocent. Super, super, super interesting. So yeah, we'll keep playing through these, and we'll set those up over the next back end of this week and into the beginning of next week. And I think that'll be a lot of fun to go through that and kind of quarterback these. But my friends, this is going to conclude this evening. I appreciate everybody that hung out in the chat this evening. Dr. Bob thinks it's going to go to a hung jury. Even think it's a hung jury with all the, the reporting of the fraud that's out there, the evidence, the evidence of fraud in this case. You think he's just a fraudster and didn't murder his family? Who would have murdered his family? What would be the connection there? What I think is that he tried using this, the boat excuse, the trial that his son was going to be wrapped up in for killing that 19-year-old girl, and possibly saying like, oh, it's a revenge killing. That's why I think that he was setting that all up in this initial interview. But I don't know. It looks like a lot of acting there. Seems pretty guilty to me, knowing the background of his character, the drug use, the fraudulent, taking the money out of his firm and hiding the money in a shell account. It's just it's interesting. A lot of twists and turns. Yeah. And he says, Dr. Bob, so many variables to discuss here. We don't have long enough. Absolutely. But we'll do some more shows. It seemed like you guys really like this content, so we'll keep going and quarterbacking those. But again, I'm going to end the show here on the East Coast. I appreciate everybody tonight hanging out in the chat. It's good to see my regulars over here, BC, SC. We had Kristen here earlier, a channel member, and I do appreciate all the super chats. Dr. Bob, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. And I'll be back on Wednesday night. We'll discuss Kohberger again, and then get into the back end of the week and get back into these Murdaugh investigations. So guys, thank you so much. I'm the Opinionated Idiot. Like I always say, opinions are like assholes, and everybody has one. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. Have a great night, everybody.